Friday night, time for crafts and pure delight. Paper, scissors, let's get started. With vintage tape, we'll be wholehearted. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty club, it's all for you. Glue sticks ready, let's make a plan. Planners in the office, supplies in hand. Honey half-season, whimsy arrows, crafting magic like true heroes. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for punch stars too. In the late night crafty club, it's all for you. Join the club where we live our dreams. So grab your scissors and come along. Together we'll craft and sing our song. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Slip into jammies, grab something to sip. Stickers and golden scissors, let's take a crafty trip. The playbook's open with listers, got a list. In this crafty paradise, our dreams coexist. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty club, it's all for you. It's all for you. Cards and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the late night crafty show? Hearts and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the late night crafty show? It's all for you. It's all for you.
Hello, hello. Am I live? Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Late Night Crafty Club. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I don't want to say a whole bunch of great stuff and then you tell me that you couldn't hear anything I said. I'm happy to see your little faces. Happy Friday. Welcome to the back of my RV. I think it's been a long week. Has it been a long week for everybody? So, I am so happy to be here. I'm a touch discombobulated because we were doing quite a few things like at the last minute leading up to the show. I had such problem getting out that pesky newsletter. That newsletter. It's like the Newman of my life. But about an hour ago, within an hour, I sent an epic newsletter to everybody on my list on my main list. So if you didn't sign up, if I've then you missed an epic newsletter. It's a big giant update. It's a big update. So in that update, I told you that I have all kinds of new stuff. There's all kinds of new stuff. We're going to go over some of that new stuff tonight, including, excuse me, I'm so sorry, including the new freebie for the season. In the past, I think it was like in the playbook era, I would do like a seasonal bingo sheet. That's right. It was in your playbook. That's how it used to get sent out to you. And then I, at some point, kind of like maneuvered that into one of the newsletters. At one point, I was putting it into the Late Night Crafty Club newsletter, and now I have steered it into my main newsletter. So I just sent it out. So I wanted to send it out on October 1st so that you could start it off. However, I didn't have everything else done. So everything in the Reset Girl world, it's like a little domino, a little domino chain, and everything. Wait, is that the best analogy? I think it's like a train. Everything hooks onto each other. So there's like something like the little engine. There's an engine, and then there's the little passenger car. There's the little dining car, and then there's the caboose. And they all link up together. So if one thing, you can't have the caboose go first, right? Everything has to go in a certain order. And if I'm late with anything, if anything is not on time, everything else gets behind. One of these days, I don't know, I've been at this for 11 years. So maybe, I don't know, when I hit like the 15-year mark, maybe at that point, I will have gotten my act together. I don't know. I can't make promises, but that is one of my great goals. One of my great goals, because you wonderful people have said such kind, sweet things about my newsletter, my poor little newsletter. And by the way, how embarrassing. How embarrassing that the last time I sent one to you was July. And I'm like, hey, hi, it's October. Remember me? So good times. But where have I been consistent? Right here, right here. Now I have to follow up that statement by saying, so sorry about the rescheduling that I was forced to do last week because of technical difficulties. That's out of my hands. So I'm so sorry about that. But yes, so now everything is launched. Everything is launched. Everything is finally off my plate. And tonight closes the loop. This Late Night Crafty Club closes the loop because it is my opportunity to give you a tour of the Clubhouse, to do a flip through of the Crafty Girl PlayKit. And then my work here is done. Thank you. Good night. That's how I'm looking at it. I can then be, I could be done with the tasks that needed to be done. And then it is just, slipping into the craft mode and then that kind of thing. So tonight is a little bit of like, let's go for a tour. Let's look through the kit. Let's look at our bingo freebie sheet that was mailed out to a whole lot of you. And I'm going to snip up some of my kit tonight. I'm thinking about revisiting some of the, I think the last time we gathered here, I think I showed you some thoughts, some thoughts. I showed you some ideas. I think I showed you some ideas for the project. Now, I don't know how much I shared with the Late Night Crafty crew, because at that time, the main project I hadn't fleshed it all out yet. And how I've been trying to do things is the membership, our little clubhouse, the all access members, I try to give them first and foremost, like the big plan. I try to give them the most of my behind the scene thoughts. So they're getting the best of my presentation and my ideas, my like, as you see, I was stumbling through this, trying to coherently put together my thoughts on this, but they get a much more seamless presentation, I assure you. So so that's when I go ahead and lay out what we're doing, and I'll go ahead and go through and show different things. So that's what will happen in the membership this season, is those private live streams will do co-working, co-crafting, if you will. If you're not familiar with that term, co-working, it is kind of a cool concept, is when people kind of join together on a live stream and they kind of quietly work together. There's actually whole YouTube channels where you can co-work or co-study. A lot of college students do this together. High school students do this together. They will literally just turn on their live stream and sit there, and it's kind of like maybe an accountability thing. It makes you feel less lonely. I probably would have enjoyed this idea in high school. It's just kind of watching someone on your screen while you're studying yourself and just feeling like, oh, look, my friend's working, I'm working. And so lots of people join together doing that. So it's that same kind of concept. I doubt I would sit there in silence the entire time, but it is kind of fun. The idea that we're all, spending that dedicated time crafting together. So that is what we're going to be doing. And I picked a project that was like a pet project to me, something that I thought was really fun and makes me think of, like, this season is kind of reading season, kind of the time of the year where a lot of us start, creating a book stack because we're spending more time indoors. Yes, it is like studying in the library. Kind of like that back in the day, us Gen Xers, when we're like, let's meet after school and go study in the library. So I am going to go over all that good stuff. I hear myself, I'm just like heading off into the rabbit trail. So I'm going to get too far ahead of myself, and then I will have a chat room that cannot be tamed. So let's say hi. And I'm not sure if I'm at the top of it, the tippy top, but I'm going to assume that I am. So hi, Miss Mandy. Hello, Miss Bethany. Hi, Rebecca. And also, let me just point something out. I noticed that YouTube has done something crazy pants to everyone's accounts. So even if your name hasn't greatly changed, it has numbers added to it. Some of you have completely different names. So yeah, like 10 years of knowing so many of you. I'm really thrown off tonight. So I'm not sure what's happened, but this will be interesting. So I may not recognize you, my sweet friends. And I'm so sorry if that is the case, because I kind of thought I was kind of good at this, but I don't know. YouTube has kind of hosed me. So hi, Miss Laura. Hi, Robin. Okay. Hi, Shelly. I saw you say that your name was actually Shelly, not what that says. Hi, Miss Lee. Hi, Chris down under. Hi, Lorelei. Hi, Melanie. Oh goodness. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Mary. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, hi, Chris. Chris, they did mess with you. I was going to say they didn't mess with yours, but they did. They added, I don't remember, yours didn't say videos before. Yeah, everybody's been messed with.
Amy Hoffman is Amy the Great now.
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's epic.
Apparently, YouTube thinks a lot about Amy Hoffman. Now she's Amy the Great. Hi, Michelle Kingsley. Hi, Pearl Ann. Hi, Janice. Oh, goodness. Wow, you guys. I'm so sorry. I just feel like I'm thrown. Your little pictures actually do help. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Paula Butcher. Welcome back. Welcome. Hi, Elsa. Hi, Miss Robin. Happy to see you. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Amy the Great. This Jersey girl thinks a lot of herself. Hi, Terry. Good to see you. Keep a little note. Miss Creative Christian, can you remind me what your name is? I know this is something you may have told me, and I'm writing it in my book. So now I'll have it because you have come multiple times, and then I may know who you are, but I don't know who you are because of your YouTube name. Okay. So Miss 120, 100, which I do recognize your icon. I don't recognize the name, but I do feel like when you tell me, I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness, I remember you. Hi Deb, hi Sharon, hi Floor, hi Deborah, hi Justine, hi Victoria across the pond. Hi Shelly K, hi Susan Lloyd. Oh, hi Creative Mish. Hi Edie. Wow, your names are all so different now. It's really weird trying to read them now. Denise Thornton. Hello. Hi Julie. Amy, thank you so much for that little comment about my newsletter. Hi Darlis. Hi Ellen. Hi Lauren. If I missed your name, please circle back and give it to me again. Hi Tammy. Hi Denise. Hi Tiffany. Hi Amanda. See, even Bethany says, I'm thrown off too. I didn't recognize me. Hi Michelle. Michelle's of Michelle's Creations. I hope you're doing well too and happy to see you. Hi Ray. I recognize your little face, but not your name. Oh goodness. I should know your name, but I don't. I'm so sorry. DG Mans, can you remind me? I'm putting this down here. Hi Lisa from Vancouver, Miss Virgo. She's in Las Vegas today. I hope you're having fun, being safe. Don't spend all your money. Oh, unless you go craft shopping, then it's okay. Hi, just Jen C. Hi, Miss Bonnie. Love your little icon pictured, Bonnie. Just Jen is from Daytona Beach. Florida girls say, what? Hi, Jennifer Dubs. She says, yeah, I noticed that now. So weird. I can hear you laughing from here, Amy. Right? Laura says YouTube is testing our brain power. Hi, Sherry. Jan says, hi from Mansfield, Texas. Hi, Arlen. Hi, Jen Lisa. I know. I don't know why it's added numbers. It's changed the configuration of your names. Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. I did forget. Thank you. You've had to tell me before. I don't know why I want to say a different name than what I'm seeing. So, hi, Donna Miller. Donna Miller, please tell me you have a guest room. Tell me you have a guest room. That is such a beautiful home. Congratulations. Oh yes, Julie, they're all different. There's tons of different names. A lot of people have numbers added to their names. Lots and lots of different configurations here that was not here before. I don't know what YouTube has done. What has YouTube done? There's all these numbers that have been added to the end of people's names that was not there, and people have completely different names than you used to. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's see. Miss Virgo says, I'm in Vegas for a book conference. How fun. Yeah, I bet. But you know what? Vegas is really good for food. That New York City and Vegas, different types of food for sure. But yes, food. Let's see. My added number is my YouTube email, which I didn't choose. Oh, so YouTube. Yeah, the interesting thing is YouTube is controlled by Google. And when you sign up, you have that kind of connection, the Google, like your Gmail account and the YouTube, and then you can change that. It's like this interesting little relationship that those things have. And that can definitely affect what's going on right now. But I am not like Michelle Massey. That is not how your name normally looks to me. at all ever. And that's why I'm like, if your little face wasn't right there, I would be struggling. Okay. Can Car. Happy Friday and happy crafting to you as well. Happy to see you. I'm not quite sure. Hi, Miss Birdies. Like Sherry Davis, I've never seen that name unless you changed it recently and now you eat glitter. I mean, that could be you. Yeah, right, Chris. That's what I thought. This whole new ad videos thing to you is interesting. So I guess it's outing everybody, their handle versus their name. Deb Gilgore says, those are our inmate numbers. YouTube is holding us hostage. Uh-oh, I better be careful. I have been thrown into YouTube jail before. It's not a good place. It changes you. Yes, Ray says, mine is showing my @name and not what I have as my name, right? So yeah, Ray, I'm not used to seeing that. So it's keeping me on my toes. So for some of you, I can figure it out, but some of you I cannot. So I apologize if I can't quite nail who you are. So there we go. Okay. Yes, I remember when we were in jail too. It was horrible. Do you guys remember when that happened? It happened right before camp launched. It happened right before Camp Reset launched. Oh, that was one of the, hi, Diane. It was one of the most scramble to figure out another solution at the last second moment I think we've ever had in the history of TRG. So, my goodness. Hi, Miss Penny Hen. It's good to see your little face again. Hi, the Queen Bee. Hi, Amanda. Amanda, I'm going to add that because I know you've been on here many times before, and I will make sure I try to remember. Okay. Okay. Yeah, your other Diane. I'm not sure who the first Diane is, but apparently to YouTube, you're the other Diane. So I'm curious who the first one is. That's what I'd like to know. Okay, so are you guys ready? By the way, I'm sitting here doing this, and if you see me do that, apparently October is the month of gnats. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this where you live, but this month and last month, this month and last year, when we were living next to the river, we have been dealing with gnats. Here, it's because of all the fruit trees. All the fruit that's hit the ground is dying. So now we have geese coming every day to go munch on it. And gnats, the fruit fly gnats, and they are just, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my mind. I constantly have the little vacuum cleaner. Our RV has a vacuum hose that you plug into like the wall and you flip a switch. So like the RV has like a built-in vacuum cleaner. So I feel like I just leave it out on the floor and I'm constantly vacuuming them out of the air. So they're everywhere. And I've put out yes, I have done all that. The little apple cider in the cup with the punch holes. I did that last year too, to try to trap them. I even added little apple slices, to try and like strengthen it. But you know what I think? I think it wears off a little bit after time, because I noticed that they're not as interested in it now. So I think I need to make a little fresh batch for them. But boy, is it annoying. It is so annoying. There's so many. I'm looking out the window and there's like so many out there. They all want to come inside. But last year was like this too, because we were right next to that water, the river, and there was just gnats everywhere. So, oh my Lanta. I'm sure down in the South where you guys, for a lot of you who live in the South, I bet this is life. There's so many bugs that you deal with. Here in Washington, It's gnat season and then there's mosquito season. And then I feel like the rest of the time it's pretty heavenly. There's not really a lot of bugs here per se. The way the weather is, it's just not really conducive to a lot of bugs. So just mosquitoes and gnats. But I think our screens that we have here, I really think part of it is that maybe our screen, the weaving in our screen is letting them in. Plus, I think when you live in an RV versus a house, I think RVs, by their very construction, they're not like a home. So there's a million ways for bugs to get into them. So they're more friendly. They're more bug friendly. They just are. Okay, so I'm not alone. Amanda says she's over these gnats. Do you guys have the no-see-ums in Canada, Mandy? At first, Melanie says that too. They bite, fruit flies and Asian beetles. Crops are harvested. They'll come out in my house too. Yeah, I've never lived anywhere with so many fruit trees, so I've never experienced this before. So it's glorious seeing all the fruit and the blossoms and it was awesome. But now it's like, oh, wow, what a price you pay for all that fruit. Because now the fruit is all over the ground. My father-in-law has been vacuuming up with his little vacuum, his little shop vac. He's been vacuuming up all the plums. They're the worst offenders. The apples, not so much, but there's like pear trees, apple trees, plums. There's tons of tomatoes. There was so much stuff that just fell because, there's no one here picking it all up and doing anything with it. I think I think people just get tired of dealing with fruit trees at some point. So anyway, if you see me do this, that's what's going on. It's a reaction. They're just like, they're in my head. They've gotten to me. So I apologize. All right. Are we ready to go on a little tour? On a little tour of the what did I want to do? I wanted to take you on a tour and I wanted to go through the play kit. What do you guys want to do first? I'll let the house decide. Wait, I'm the house. I'll let the chat decide. What would you like to do, my friends? So far I have 3. Well, it looks like we're going on a tour. I don't have my little lantern. Shoot. because remember how we did a flashlight tour for camp? I wanted to have my little lantern to take you on a little lantern tour. Well, rats. So much for having props. You know how I love a prop, even though it ends up being something I have to store. And by the way, speaking of storing, I have bins behind me on the floor. This is what I will be doing this weekend, is putting away my camp props, because I still have not done that. So putting away my camp stuff so it's officially tucked away, put away, and then officially getting the rest of my fall stuff, because I have fall things now. And then I'm going to be working on doing that, and then getting this my whole desk area needs to be de-summered and then falled, because I want to get the new project we're working on. I want to make sure that everything is set up to do that properly, so I can just sit down and craft with my friends. And I found that I was not really set up for that today when I sat down. So we are going on a little tour, a 3-hour tour. Sorry. Clap. All right. So we are in the main hall. I wish I could have that scary, eerie voice from the Haunted Mansion soundtrack. Welcome to the house. So we are in the clubhouse. We are in the main hall, which is this right here. And you'll find here is our directory, the bulletin board, and the seasonal station. So the way I designed our clubhouse, which is now called the Happy Place Club, it has 7 spaces. So it is designed to be very, very simple, very clean, and very easy to navigate. You'll notice that there's a little live button here. I'm on a computer, so the interface looks a little different than if you are on mobile. But this live is showing that there's a live event going on, which is the one you're watching right now, because we link it inside the Clubhouse. Now, we forgot to link tonight's. That was an oversight on our part, but normally it would be. So the directory. This is, hey there, sweet friend. This is your picture coming into the main hall of a home. And you have a whole organized little system all set up for you when you walk in. If you have been away for a while, no worries. Here's your quick path back in. Here is my way of catching you up really fast. Here's the most important little parts. They're all bulleted for you. It's your catch up fast plan. And then here's the main hall. And I just reiterate what these 3 little places are. So I've done a lot of redundancy all throughout. So it's trying to get it into your memory of what all these spaces are. There's just 7. But I know that when you're learning something new, it takes a little bit of repetition. Just the reminder of here's the main hall, the 3 spots. Here's where we keep our events. They're now on a bulletin board. So when you think about home, you keep your calendar on your refrigerator or on a bulletin board. And so I wanted to kind of paint that picture for you, is that your announcements, your mail, and your calendar now live on a bulletin board. And then our gathering rooms are the rooms that have a feed or a place that you would share or talk. So that's what these rooms here are for. And we'll get to those in a moment. So that is your directory. And within the directory, we have a tab for all of the FAQs. So these are all questions that we think would be really the most likely questions people would have. And there's a question, and they're all separate from each other so that you have full on answers. So they're not all blended on one page any longer. They're all separate. So if you have a question, more than likely it'll be in here, unless it is a very personal billing question and then something specific to your billing, like your credit card or your bank or something of that nature, then that would be something that you could contact us about. But this is the main directory. So then you have, let's go to the bulletin board, which you can access here. This is the main menu of this right here, which I'm moving this, trying to see it. There we go. Okay. So here's your bulletin board. So this right here is the board. So here's where all the happy place bulletin board is. So I explained that right here. Here's what it looks like. And I remind you, here's how you get to the events tab. And if you want to find past events, I tell you how to do that. It's right here. So here's your board and here's the events. And right now, this is the one that's live right now. This is the one we're watching. And then here's the one for the 31st of October. So this is where I post stuff. So this is our first one. Here's some happy mail. Here was an announcement. Here was another announcement. So these are little postcards and little mail. I'll end up putting other things in here, but that's what the bulletin board is. It's your events calendar. It's announcements and mail and other things that I have not yet done. So that keeps you in the know. And then your season station, and this is very reminiscent if you're familiar with how I do things. It's very similar to a media center. So this is where I share with you the seasonal story. I share with you a little story about our cozy season and things you can do, les sai. And then here's where I build a YouTube playlist. These are all these great playlists I built for you. Here's movie rental night. I curated as many free movies on YouTube as I could find that kind of fit my parameters that I use to do that. Here's audiobooks I found. So I tried to find things that either were slightly spooky, that were fallish, that were coziest, that kind of fit the theme, but also kind of were clean and that kind of thing. So then I built you a Pinterest board, and here's a printable mood board. And then I'll be adding more fun things here. And then I shared a cozy hobby thing that I could think of. So then we're going into the gathering rooms. So if you click on these actual titles, you'll see a grid view of the gathering rooms. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. It's a really cool way of seeing them if you're on a device. So here's the family room. This is our main feed. So this is where you would be sharing all the things. And so this is what our family room looks like. And it's for the main feed for sharing projects, photos, and conversation. So you can see that there's Miss Amy, Amy the Great. She's sharing her cozy season, her little weekly journal, which was part of the content that all access members got. And then this is her sharing that and everybody responding. Lots of people saying, here's Miss Chris, who's on our chat. She is right now, she's sharing her embroidery. It's beautiful. And there's Miss Angela. She's playing Everdell, best game ever. I love this game so much. So this is where people are starting to show the Commonplace project, which we're going to talk about. And so there's like stuff we're doing, stuff that we're sharing. And so this is the main feed for that. So this very much emulates the Camp Reset format, which we had one main feed and everything was shared in there. Now, there is a couple exceptions for that. The game room is for the house game, which is Wordle. And this is a very popular room. There's a handful of very dedicated Wordle players, and so they have their own space. And then there is a prayer room, which is posting all content that is faith-related. And then we have the cottage, which is the space for the all access members. So this is where you have the private live streams. You have the Crafty Girl PlayKit is accessed here. When you are a member, that is included in your membership. And then, there's 3 live streams for the season. There's the kit for the season. And so you have a hub for watching those gatherings if you were unable to make them. And then any little extra little notes I have for you, I will post here, almost like a little inbox. So that is the cottage, and I've just given away. I've just showed you the goods. So that's what's going on in here. It's really, really simple to navigate. The interface is very clean. It's very easy to jump in. There's one spot to get your printables if you are an all access member, and one place to go find the events. If you're all access, you're going to see what I see right now. You'll see all the events together. And if you've missed anything, there's this little past tab right here, and it'll show everything that is in the past. So that's what we're looking at. So I have everything scheduled in advance. You can add any of these to your calendar. If you're an all access member, these girlfriend gatherings are what we have to look forward to. The next one is going to be the largest girlfriend gathering. This is our co-working session. So we'll be working on our projects together. And that's kind of the one thing that I really wanted to give the makeover to the membership for, was because that is really the heart of all of the camps that I have done, the Harmony Retreat. We always have so much fun when we do a shared project. That was really my biggest epiphany, was when we have something to work together on. That is really when I feel like the membership comes alive. It's like, well, what did you do? What are you doing? How are you doing that? Where did you get that from? Because we're all in alliance with this one thing. And so it's just a matter of seeing how each other is doing things. And it does make you want to share. It does make you want to give your insight into why or how you're doing something and where you got that cool thing. And I really love that exchange. That's when I see the absolute most interaction is in camp, when we're sharing the projects that we're working on. That is like the biggest part of what creates that energy and that excitement. So it's in this case where I'm picking a project that has a very practical application, something that you can use, far beyond cozy season, far beyond the fall, something that a lot of us would actually enjoy and love having. It's just the thought of like sitting down and starting one or doing one. I don't know that a lot of us have ever thought through like, okay, well, how would I do that? Why would I do that? What would it look like? I think something like this can really become a fun and meaningful project, especially when you have other creative minds around you showing how they're doing it and their cool quotes that they've found. I think that's kind of the key thing. Sometimes people find quotes that are very meaningful or cool or different. I know I do all the time, and I often see them on people's projects. They are using them in an art journal, page or a memory keeping layout. That's when I often come across some really cool quotes. So I think that can be a really fun aspect of having a shared project. So that is one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of steer the content and be very focused on everything we do here in our membership is around these seasonal projects that we work on together. This is the main project. This is the focus. And that I want everyone to join in and feel like we're all bonded together over this. No one is left out. This is something we all can have in common. And there's so many beautiful, lovely quotes, lyrics, fun things that, you can be inspired by and include in your book, and how it's formatted, how it's crafted, how it's designed. Those are all the cool things that you can learn from each other. So, so that was the impetus of wanting to kind of showcase the membership differently. And each season it would go through this kind of little, I would provide a new project / content to kind of like give us a new fun thing to focus on, a new creative adventure, if you will, because I do love that. I love building an experience. I love world building. So I thought like that would give me more time and not having to rush through it every single month, trying to do something over and over and over again, but it would make it feel more relaxed and cozy and give you more time to relax into the project and just really have a good time with everyone and not feel like you were rushing through the content, was switching out so rapidly. So one of the things I wanted to show you was, before I move on to the kit itself, the content this season, you can buy the kit separately and not join, but I did want to show you something that members in the all access tier did receive some bonus material that is not part of the kit. It's just bonus material for members. So I wanted to show that. Okay, so we have a cozy season prep checklist. So this is about getting you all ready for the cozy season. I made that. And then there was a reading challenge that you could do for yourself. These are little spaces for you to print out like the little book covers of whatever books that you had chose for yourself and the little ratings you gave them. And then if you wanted to do a more intense little book review of that book and put this into your planner, your binder, you could even size these down so they fit into like an A5 if you wanted to. You could print as many of those out as you wanted to. So there was like a spot for 9 books. I figured 9 books in 90 days or 2 months, that would be pretty ambitious for a lot of us. So that is included. And then there was a weekly journal for all 3 months. And so you could print out as many weeks as you needed for each month. And this would help you kind of set intentions for how you were going to, plan your cozy time, your self-care time, because creativity and making sure that you're getting that in, your playtime, your downtime, your reading, self-care, like skincare, all of that stuff, that is part of your self-care plan. And that's time you should be scheduling into your life and something fun, and that you could document that. So that was, this was additional things that you could enjoy as part of the membership all access level. So this is included in that. If you just wanted to join the membership this season and enjoy it on our first round of trying this new thing, trying the Happy Place Club for the first time, this was included. Everybody received the access to the mood board. So I built a mood board on Pinterest. And this was available for everyone to download. So all levels of membership. And then the all access members got this kit. So this is what I call the core kit. And this is the core kit has the project guide and then has some of the ephemera and stickers. So this is like the little cover. It's not designed to be a book. It's just a bunch of sheets. But then I was like, oh, it needs a cover, even though it's not a book. But technically, this could be something like a print that you just print out and put. Like I usually use this little clipboard on the wall as like my little frame. So I'll probably hang that up there. So here was our little cover girls for the season. It's the reading season. So we're moving on to the Crafty Girl PlayKit. It's the Crafty Commonplace project is what we're going to be working on. This PlayKit is all about that. This PlayKit is not season specific. It's really just about this Crafty Commonplace kit. So if you didn't buy this until the summer, it would have no bearing on whether it was fall or winter or spring or anything. This is just about building a commonplace project with guidelines. And then there's ephemera in this particular kit. And then if you buy it as the bundle, actually you can't buy this version. This is only for the members. I'm going to show you the full bundle is actually what's sold in the store. So in this case, you're just getting you're getting the guide. So I am breaking it down with ideas of how you can, like what kind of format you can do your commonplace in. And I just gave five different ideas. In our kickoff meeting for the for this, I did go over those in a little bit more detail. I talked at length, and that's the other part. I am supporting this project with all the late night crafty clubs and those live streams, the girlfriend gathering. So that's a lot of support and craft along time that you're getting with me and the community. So this is very much a team sport. It's a team crafting sport. So that's another reason why I hope that it would be something that people wanted to join in. It's very reminiscent of the playbook and Listers Got a List, where there was a lot of activity in the community around, you know, a particular challenge that we were doing. So this kind of has that feel, although this is a far more relaxed activity. There's not a time limit on this. This is about setting it up, and then you can use it at whatever pace you want to do. So I gave you some ideas for your collections of how you could collect the verbiage and the words and the quotes, how you could organize those if you wanted to, or you could go crazy. Then there's prompts to create really specific, cool pages in there. And then we move on to the ephemera pages. So I did a bunch of vintagey kind of curated some vintagey images, put together some of my own little combinations of stuff that I really liked, and I'm going to put in my own. So basically everything I did, I'm putting in my book. So I designed everything in this kit to use myself, which is, I've never done that before. So I really tried to like focus on everything you do would be something you would use. Those were my design guidelines. So that is what I intended, which is why it might look a little different than the stuff I have, that we've offered in the past, because I was completely in the driver's seat and I was making it for who I am today. So it was a little bit all over the place, but it is kind of a little eclectic, but I love it so much. So you have some little word strip stickers, you have date labels, and then you have a variety of other stickers. These are all stickers if you print them on the full label sheet. So, and I linked all of this, whether you buy it in the store or if you get it in the membership, I linked all of the different type of papers so that you have what I have. And then I printed this on clear sticker stock. I personally recommend, if you have a decent printer, is getting a little box of clear sticker paper. Clear sticker paper is so wonderful. It's such a wonderful material to layer on other types of papers. It's magical. It really is. We use clear sticker stock in our business. A lot of the stickers that we have offered to you are printed on clear sticker stock. I actually have some here. The sticker paper that I linked is the sticker paper we use in our business. So these little honeys right here, this is the same exact paper that we use.
Sticker
Oh, and by the way, the sticker truck is open. The sticker truck is open. Mom, can I have your wallet? Mom, where's your purse? The sticker truck is here. Shelly K, that is the truth. These are the best for florals. Having the clear sticker paper for florals and people, those are my two favorite. The sticker truck is open right now. Mark has it open. It has not been open for months, so it's a good time to grab some. Anyway, I have just been obsessed with vintage people, and I have been obsessed for a while, almost the entire, I would say at least a year now, of putting florals and crowns on everybody, and putting them all over them. So it's been really a lot of fun. So this is the core kit. So this is the only thing that members get. If you want to purchase the journal cards so that you have everything, the journal cards, I'm talking to all access members right now. If you want to buy the journal card kit separately, we created a separate little kit just for you, so you could buy that. Through Sunday, there is a discount code for you. It is inside of your, it's inside the cottage. If you open up the download, like where you got your kit, I put the discount code in there, and I believe that code is good through Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. So check that. All right, so here's the missing piece. This makes it a bundle. So this is what's in the store. These are 24 journal cards, and I designed every one of them. I absolutely love these so much. So I have cards that I would say are more highly designed, like these are more designed, like there's just more design to them. And then I have ones that are far simpler, these are the kind that, you would have a lot more of. There's the girls on a simple cover. This is one of my favorite cards ever. And I love this one. I love this couple kissing. I just love that. I had so much fun building these. I really, really did. It just made me realize if I had more time and I wasn't, which now I'm going to have more time, but when I sit down and do stuff like this is like crafting. It's just digital, but it was glorious. I had so much fun. And the more I spend doing this, the better you get at something. And then the more I will see myself do other things and improve. So these look very simple. I have to tell you, how everybody has like a basic white tee in their wardrobe? That's what I consider these cards. They're like the basic white tee. I love them. This is a glitter star, like a glitter sticker is what that is actually. And they're just so cool. I've been obsessed with my little glitter stars. So all of these have a vintage patina over them. So they look very aged, which is neat. And so I'm using my favorite color palette. I'm using like older kind of vintagey, I've used like a vintage filter on things. So it just gives it that little older look to it. Obsessed. There's my girl. I love this girl so much. I used her a lot. At the beginning of the year, I was putting her in a lot of different things. I love putting like little designs on her coat. She's so cute. There's a little secretary at her desk. So these cards right here, I could like make a whole sheet of just those cards, this style, because I feel like they're so versatile. There's so many things you could do with them, like adding, other embellishments and stuff to them. But they're like my basic white tee. It has just enough on there to be not boring, but. And then there was two extra 6x4s here. This one's more like a pocket card that is like a photo, but you could write on it. So you could use a white gel pen here or up here. And then this one is very similar to our graphic for the homepage of our Clubhouse, but it gave you room to write on it if you wanted to. So this is either sold as a standalone kit for our Clubhouse all access members, or if you just want to buy just the journal cards, or you can buy the entire thing as the bundle. So these are your options. This is a la carte. You can buy this as part of the membership and also enjoy these fun things too as part of the membership and have the private live streams with me. Or you can just get journal cards, or you can just have the fun bundle. I will, like I said, I'll still be doing this whole project thing on here on the Late Night Crafty Club. So I'll be working in whatever format I will be doing things in. I'm probably going to try and be very loosey-goosey with how I do things because I like having flexibility in what I do. But the other thing that I did is everybody who is on my newsletter list got this. I sent this out tonight. So this was designed to work with the Crafty Girl PlayKit prompts for the season. So same color palette, same little girl. So this was a way of like giving you some creative prompts to get you working on your project that you could like check off, because I find these to be extremely motivating. I was super focused on getting it checked off when I was in camp. So I wanted to make sure that you got them too. Okay. Yes, Amy says, I love the whole kit and caboodle. It's all very helpful to make the Commonplace book easier if you're not uber crafty. Hopefully, because there's certainly, if you like vintage, like a vintage style thing, then it is, and it also, you can use it in your like memory keeping. You can use it in pocket pages. So obviously these things are like fun to use in any project. It's not one that you can just do just for this, because obviously journal cards work in anything. So let me see. Okay, so I think I have covered everything that had to do with this. Michelle, the journal cards for the full membership is extra from our bundle. Yes, this right here is the journal cards. They did include a discount. So there is a little code for you to use, but the discount is through, I think it's Saturday at midnight. And thank you so much, Miss Reenie 581, Doreen. See, again, your name is totally different on there, but I recognize your face. Thank you, Doreen. That's very, very sweet of you. So the cards are separate. And if you look at the pricing of the bundle, it is very different than what the membership is, because membership pricing. So we had to do a ton of math to figure this out, because as members, you're getting live streams, you're getting bonus content, and then you're getting the core kit. So when you price all that out and spread it out over 3 months, and then I have to sell the kit outside of the membership and try and make sure that it's fair and that there's still value to the members, it's very complex. So that probably took the longest part of the process, and why everything wasn't like getting into the store right away, because we wanted to make sure that we were doing all of that right, because it's very tricky when you want to sell something that you're putting into a membership. If our membership was just something that we charged once for, and like we charged up front and then you weren't charged again, you're charged once per month. If I could just charge you once for the season, it would look different. Unfortunately, we're on a monthly billing system, but I'm giving all of your content, I'm just giving it to you up front. So it's kind of a weird situation that I'm in. So it can look a little it can look a little off, but I assure you it works out when you think about how the dollars play out. If you were to look at how the bundle's priced and how you have these live streams that you're getting, and the bonus content, access to the membership, and all of that entails. So I love the membership. I love the access to the community, because it's not just about me. It's about, there's so many people who are so crafty, creative, have wonderful ideas and contribute to the, to the feed or showing their ideas. It's very, very inspiring. It's a lovely place to go from the rest. And I try to keep it very, 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 very positive. Very just positive, happy, the Happy Place Club. If you will remember, that is actually a name of one of the former Facebook groups I used to have back in 2016, 2017, 2018, I think is about when I started using that. It could have been as early as 2015. So for about 3 years, we had the Happy Place Club. So I kind of reached back in time and I snatched that name because I really love that. And I think it just it stands for what I've always tried to be, is this really happy, positive place where, this is kind of like an escape hatch, and it's a place to just be like, I found my people. And I don't know. It's just like, it's a fun experience. And I think that many, many people in the group have been through many of the camp experiences. They've been through the kind of fun, like, I think when you go through camp enough times, I feel like you are kind of a fun person at heart because you're willing to go through all that, the fun imagination of it. I think that people who are willing to come to the late night crafty club, and there's something very special about people who are interested in the pretend side of things, the pretend of, I'm pretending to be at camp. I'm pretending to be involved in an activity like that. I think that, can we agree that not everybody would be interested in that? So I think when you have enough people in this kind of collaborative way, be part of an online community, and I like to focus a lot on. I'm being more clear about it now. Like, I do focus a lot on nostalgic topics. I think that by doing so, I think that just generates a lot of happy, good memories, kind of just wanting to remind us all about how we, the fun music we used to listen to, or the movies that we liked, or, a lot of us are Gen Xers or boomers. And so just kind of reaching back in time and remembering, happier moments, or when we were kids. I think that can be a really fun thing. It gives you a little rush of dopamine. I think a lot of us need that right now. Would you mind showing the all access again and what we buy in addition? So if you're referring to this, if you are an all access member, the thing that we have in the store right now is the journal card kit. You already got the core kit, so you got all of this. All you are doing is purchasing this, and you have a pretty generous coupon to do that with. So you're paying a portion of that, and then you'll have all of this. Plus, you got all of this bonus stuff right here, which nobody gets but all access members. So all of that, and then the live streams too, because you do have to figure live streams do have value. I'm planning them. I'm showing up for them. I'm spending time with you. So that has a dollar amount attributed to that. So although I can't, like you're buying stuff that's in a store and you're seeing a price tag, that has value as well. So that's something I want to keep in mind. That that's part of the deal as well. So, and I love that time that I spend with you, in doing the girlfriend gatherings. The replays are available throughout the season. And so at the end of the season, the content will go away, and then fresh content comes in, it's replaced. So we will then have a new creative adventure. We'll have a new project. It will have a turnover. The next season that I do, I want to actually offer a more upgraded experience for the bundle. I want it to be housed within maybe like a hub with maybe videos. So it could be a little bit more of like a more expanded project. That's my thought, but I will definitely think that through. And I don't want you to double buy either. That's why I was really, really careful to separate everything out And that's when I realized, you know what, I'm going to make sure that members got something exclusive too, so that they weren't, so that they had something exclusive. So I promise you guys, I know I'm not really awesome at stuff like this. I admit this, but I wanted to make sure members got something exclusive that you couldn't get by buying a kit. So you guys, I wanted you to have something special. If you were a subscriber, you have a freebie and a late night crafty club session. So that is access without having to buy anything. So you still have that. I always want to make sure that even if you're not purchasing something, you're still able to access the community and the fun. I don't want anyone left out from that. And then there's the journal card kit. If that is what your budget allows, you have awesome journal cards for any project, anytime. Those are not exclusive to any particular group. You can just buy those. And that kit was designed so that the all access members could just buy those to add to this little core kit. But altogether, this is the bundle. So there's a bundle with everything, and then there's the journal cards. So those are the two products in the store. So members, just get the cards. But if you make a mistake, we will help undo it, okay? So don't be scared. We'll help you undo it. I understand that it can be tricky. I get very anxious about stuff like that too, and I'll sit there and read the description over and over. So yes, we'll help you figure it out if you make a mistake, because I tried really hard to like separate those things. And that's why this whole thing took a week, because I was doing something so complicated, and I knew this would be hard for people to understand. Like this product is inside the membership. Now I'm making something separate, and then I'm doing this over here. So I totally grasp. I'm surprised that only 2 people said it was confusing. To be quite honest, I am surprised that only 2 people said it was confusing, because I totally understand that it can be. So I wanted members to realize, like, there's dollar value to the live streams. I made a separate product for you, and then everything would be combined and put into one for everybody else. Okay, my sweet friends, are we ready? Are we ready to do? Yes, FOMO is real. It's still real. It's still real, even when we're as old as we get. We still get FOMO. It's true. I get it too. I am just as bad. I'm just as guilty. I'm a FOMO girl too. Oh, it's so funny. So, hear me now. I have to promote my stuff. I do. I have to pay bills, but I never want to do, I never want to make everything I do behind a paywall. So that is what the Late Night Crafty Club is here for. And being a subscriber to my newsletter, I want to make sure there's something in there for you too. Because if you have been a subscriber to that newsletter, you deserve a freebie and a hug, because you've been neglected. But that is definitely one of my top priorities, is getting that figured out. That's a thing. As I'm Scarlett O'Hara, as God is my witness, because I always get sweet things said about it. I don't understand why it's so hard. It's so hard. Mark watched me all day work on it, and half the day yesterday. So anyway, okay. So are we working on commonplaces? So here's what I wanted to share, because I know this to be true. It's true for me. One of the reasons why I did not continue working in the Crafty Commonplace book that I started, and I believe I made a couple videos about it on my YouTube channel back in 2016, is because I think the format is the tricky thing. And I know that that's going to trip a lot of people up, is the format. How am I going to use this thing? Is it going to be a notebook? Is it a binder? Is it there's so many ways you can do this. Is it a pocket page album? Is it a traveler's notebook? if you use a traveler's notebook, you can make different inserts. Is it a 3-ring binder? Did I say binder? I feel like I said binder. I even showed, I think I did this somewhere. I'm sure it was here. I shared the cards. I made the cards. This is actually how I brought back the Late Night Crafty Club, was showing, doing my little cards. So these make excellent, these are the Crafty Commonplace cards. That's how I started them off. I was calling them my little scrapture cards because they're little scraps. You're capturing little scraps, paper scraps, and scraps of words and thoughts. So this was my little fall card. I used the Trader Joe's box, the packaging, which we just bought a brand new box of this stuff. We just went to Trader Joe's the other day. If you have a Trader Joe's in your area, the fall is the best season of the year to go to Trader Joe's. They do such a fantastic job of falling up their store, from like the little displays and the end caps. They bring in all the best stuff for fall. So Mark stocked up on this fall tea. So yeah, this tea is so good. So anyway, so this style of commonplacing this has my heart, because if you're like me, I love the organization. One of the thoughts that kind of niggle at me is the idea of like how to organize the quote. I get very tripped up on this idea of like, well, if I make the quote, where am I going to like organize it? Where does it belong? And if it's in a notebook, it's trapped. I can't move it. I can't adjust it. So if you're like me, if those thoughts keep you up at night, you think about your project. And I talk about this in the guide. I actually address this because I wasn't just like, oh, make a pretty book and slap some ephemera on it. No. I always think about people like me, because as cuckoo as I appear to be sometimes, I am really, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm an overthinker. Okay. I get very, very, very particular about things. So I did try and do a little bit of, clarity over what type of girl you are. And if you're someone who just, you like having control of that information and you want to have flexibility, then you need to be able to move it around. Then you're someone who would probably do well with like a card system, or someone who has like a binder system, because binder or disc bound, because those things can be picked up and moved. If you decide, hey, I have so much now, I want to organize it. I want to put tabs in it. You can still have gorgeous organization, that's practical and useful, but then you have beautiful pages that are like junk journal-y. You can still have junk journal lusciousness and beautiful organization. These two things can live together. I shall show you. That's the world I am living in. Come with me. That's what I plan on doing. So I just haven't, I don't think I'm going to, okay, I have started that process here. Clearly that's kind of what this is, but I really do, not this, but I really do want to do something with this lovely little book. And I think this is why I bought it, actually, was to make it kind of a commonplacey project. So I think that is what I'm going to do. But I wanted to show something. If you're somebody whom that doesn't bother, like you just are like, that's fine. I'm just going to put stuff in here. If you like are more of an, a bullet journal girl, if you're more of a notebook girl and that kind of thing that doesn't bother you. You're fine with it just being in there. You like just having all the flipping through the pages is what is fun for you. You just love the flipping through, and whatever cool quotes you come across, you'll come across. There's that too. And that's a lovely freedom. That's a lovely, just different experience. You're not looking for organization. You're just looking for the lovely experience of seeing the finished pages, seeing the lovely words. it doesn't have to be a practical tool necessarily. So you might be someone who likes a little bit more of like the bullet journal style, dotted kind of notebook. I wanted to share, I've brought this thing out so many times for so many examples. And that's the actual point I wanted to make. For those of you who have not been able to settle on a concept, that's fine. But let me suggest something just to get you like crafty or creative. Right now, what you could be doing just so that you're crafting something in this season, not because we're like on a time limit, just so that you're getting in the flow. Sometimes just getting your little crafting wheels going is just good, because you might find the solution in the movement. Like the thoughts come to me. I have amazing breakthrough thoughts when I'm in the process of crafting. So that might happen to you if you just get going. So one thing about this project is I call this my scrap journal, and I actually started a whole little, I started a workshop outline for it. I actually wanted to teach this as a little workshop, which I have not given up on that idea. But what I wanted to share with you is you could just get a notebook like this and just start building little collages in it. And just because it's fun. I was practicing my collaging style, like doing grids and doing layers and just having fun pulling stuff out of my scrap stash. And just randomly, whatever, like there's a little piece of TRG here. There's a little piece of crepe paper, Maggie Holmes, just washi. I was just building a grid. I was looking at shapes. This was about shapes and color. So it was just about the practice of building little collages and how much fun that was. This was about bringing color and her little pop of blue. So that's what I started doing. And I wanted to share that with you because if you can't settle on something right now, and that might be plaguing some of you, and as time passes and you begin to see more people work on it, and this might start affecting you, because that's what happens to me. You start getting that feeling of I'm being left behind. Do something like this. Just craft something simple. You might decide once you start going that, hey, I'm just going to throw a quote down here. I'm going to start throwing it down, even if it's in pencil. I'm going to put a sticky note, like put a quote on here that you like and just put it on a sticky note here and just call it a temporary. That way you have the best of both worlds. You have a notebook that you're building that you like, and you could use this as a journal. You could use it as a commonplace book later. You could use it for memory keeping. You could use it for listing. It could become a special book that you gift to a family member, like maybe for a special occasion. It could become a real meaningful purpose to it. But for right now, it's just like, it was a fun little playground. It was a fun little way of just like, oh, this is really fun. I'm just, I want to make sure I'm not sharing anything. This was just a little address. So I was just having fun with my stuff, going, using my ephemera. That's really how this started, is I was like, ooh, and I just started flipping the pages, and I just kept going and going and going and just adding more and more every page. And I got pretty far. You know what this started getting me doing is, like, after a while, it started changing. It affected my decorating style. It started affecting how I started building stuff. And I realized I absolutely love grids. Like, grids are my thing. I love grids. I mean, look, doesn't that look so similar? I mean, you can go through my little scrap cards here and see tons of cards that very much came from me practicing. This is like, this book is 20, I might have a date in here. Look, here's a quote. You get what you repeat. James Clear. That's Atomic Habits. That's commonplacing right there. So, I mean, I love collecting quotes. Lots of us do. Like, this is one of my, doesn't that look familiar? This is one of my favorite things to do, is make these type of grids. Love it. I could do that all day. It is the most fun activity. If you have nothing else to do, is grid practice. You know why? This is about building your eye. It's about building your color pattern, your eye for detail, and bringing things together. It's about training yourself. Like, what is it that I like? What do I see? What's drawing me to this? This was about training myself and realizing like what kind of crafter or designer or paper person I am and how much I love things that are eclectic. And it's just, to me, it's about the colors on here, what pops, what needed to be balanced. So it's like a training ground. When I think about it, this book is really about experimentation. And if that's what you need right now to get going, you might find yourself making the decision along the way. Like, you know what? This is so much fun. I'm loving this book so much. I'm going to start throwing my quotes in here. Maybe I'll change my mind later and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll end up filling it up, but at least you got going. You got going. You just got some momentum. This doesn't have to be the only commonplace book you ever have. This doesn't have to be what you're married to forever. This doesn't have to be a permanent forever. This just might be where, you look back on it and go, well, this is where like I got my training, and because I can look at this and go, well, this is where I got my training. And
your stunt book?
My stunt book. I did. That is what I called it. It was my stunt book. And I think that has a lot to do with why I didn't really do anything else in it. And I keep bringing it out to make my point with different projects because I've brought this out to show you guys so many different times to make so many different points. So I love this little book. And even if I don't write anything in it, it's totally fine because it's totally served its purpose. I have used it to demonstrate to you. But more than anything, it shows me like, look how far you've come and look how you learned something and look how much you now know how much you love this really simple thing you do, which is like cutting up squares and rectangles and bringing them together in grids and how much joy that gives you. Because paper play is so much fun. Like it's so much fun. To me, like if I was doing nothing else, is just playing it or playing around with it, Melanie says, I'm wondering that too. Do you take any pages out first so it has room to get fluffy? So when we are talking about the altered books, I absolutely would do that with an altered book because obviously a book, is built to be completely, most books are built pretty thick to start with. So with like a regular book, yes, because with an altered book, you want to build like real fun pages in there. So you want to rip out at least a third of the book, the pages, and not one chunk of them. You want to like do it throughout the book so that you're thinning it out because you're going to build back some of scrapbook paper in there. You're going to build back some texture in there. So an altered book type book, yes, I would thin out. This type of book, like you can see, I'm at the halfway mark. About half of the book, maybe. Let me see. I don't know. I'm not even sure if it was half of the book I got to. I don't know if that's a fair statement. Let's see. Okay. I didn't get to quite half of the book. I'm under half and I'm already fairly fluffy. But here's the thing. I would love a super fluffy book. I would think that's so cool. And if that were the case, then I wonder, would a hardback be the best type of book if you were going to make it super fluffy? I almost think that I would rather have like a soft cover if I knew it was going to end up getting fluffy. And you guys, there's nothing wrong with those big fluffy books. There are some amazing Instagram channels, and I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to people with the big fluffy notebooks. I mean, they're so delicious. They're like eye candy. And I would love to see all the pages in there. I'm so nosy. But there's people that walk around with them, and they're huge. They're like stuffed. So yeah, I think that would be super fun. But again, I don't know that if I had it to do over again, knowing that I was going to go to make it be fluffy like that, I probably would get this size. I wouldn't start with those, those big 360 page, like, if you guys recall that black one that I bought, I think it was made by Zequins. I had it. I had it on my channel. I started making it, doing like layouts in it, and I used it. Oh, I want to say I started using it at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. I would not buy one that big. I would definitely say this size, but I would probably get the softback because they get pretty big. Okay, Susan is asking what the measurements are, and Mark we're about to answer.
5 1/4 by 8 1/2.
So this is the traditional A5. It's an A5. It looks kind of small on my desktop when I look at it, but it's an A5. And it's the hardback, and it is one of the dupes. It's an inexpensive one. It was like $9.95 or something like that. So this is the one. Robin says, I have that same sequence journal from Barnes & Noble. Yeah, it was like the $9.95, and it's really soft. So I would not get one of those to start with because that one's way too big. But I would get this thickness, this regular little style. But I wouldn't get a hardback. That's my preference, only because I can see that this would be really obnoxious. This cover wouldn't be as forgiving. The soft covers are what I see everybody else who gets fluffy. The cover just is more malleable, and it tries to like wrap around it. Hi, Andy. It's good to see you. If that makes sense to you. So, if that makes sense. Anyway, so there's that. So I just wanted to share with you. I saw some comments in the Clubhouse, and I know for a fact that is kind of the problem with commonplacing, because it is for me, that the thought of like committing yourself to the format is the biggest decision. It feels like gulp. What am I going to do? So the other thing that I also brought up last time when we talked about it is I said, just make pages, just do stuff on scraps, things that you could, scrap and punch and just throw in a binder. Okay, not sticker sheets, but you know what I mean? Like the size of this, like something like a junk journal. So like pick pages that are smaller in scope. Okay, I'm sorry. This is so funny. I've had this for so long. Back in my day, we had 9 planets. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I do. I find that funny. So anyway, I have a bunch of like stuff I printed off the internets in here. That I love these little envelopes. These are so awesome for holding your ephemera. There's more gnats in here. So imagine I just have a bunch of loose type of papers. So just constructing your quotes, your stuff on loose pages, loose things, even if it's like on a little picture, like writing a quote on there. Yeah, I don't know about this, you guys. I don't know what the I don't know where we're at with that whole decision, because I've heard now that like there's been a reversal of this. Now there's not a decision hasn't been made. I don't know. Like, how do you take away the status of a planet? So I'm sorry, poor Pluto. I'm not giving up on Pluto. When I was a kid, seriously, that was my favorite planet. I always felt so bad for Pluto. It was always so far away. It was like the underdog planet. I genuinely felt sorry for Pluto because it was like the planet who had no friends. So you're not taking it away from me.
Amy tells the other folks she's older than Google.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I'm older than Google. That's funny. Okay. So like, here's something funny. We have, this is a little French, I think this is a French flashcard. I could be wrong. Chasser, to chase, to hunt. So you could add like fun, like little loose ephemera, like junk journal this up. You could make your, it's a stunt commonplace. You could just start it to start it, like no commitment. I'm not committed. I'm just trying to start the process. Just feel yourself just getting the craftiness going. Maybe you don't focus on the quotes and all of that, because that might feel like you're getting too committed. Ask yourself, where's the commitment lie? I'm really trying to help you because I know these are the things I have to ask myself. And I'm saying this because this will genuinely keep you from crafting. I know this for a fact. This will keep you from participating. We're going to get to December and you will not have a commonplace project started because you will still be in analysis paralysis, because you're still waiting for this perfect scenario, because you're going to find a reason why all of these solutions are not the perfect solution. And if that sounds about right, I'm just telling you, then stop thinking about, so you can't think about it the way you're thinking about it. All of the way you're thinking about it is flawed. So, because I think then that we're getting too analytical about it then. Because really what we're trying to do is we're just trying to capture beautiful quotes and thoughts and wisdom. And so for now, if that's the case, then maybe just capturing it on a little index card for now, this might be a simpler way to go about it. You can always, cards are really easy to track. They come in so many different formats. They come on the little ring, and you can always transfer those into something you like later. And you could just junk journal it for now until something else happens to you. Or what could happen? You could fall in love when you least expect it. Sometimes that format that you weren't sure if you would go on a first date with, maybe that format kind of smiled at you the different way. And so you said yes to that first date. And the next thing you know, you're saying yes to a second date. And then you're in a full-blown relationship. It can happen. But when you get stuck in analysis paralysis, and I genuinely mean this, I am the woman who has 20 empty notebooks or 20 notebooks that have 3 pages filled out sitting right there, which, by the way, I think tomorrow Mark's going to make me get rid of. Help. But I think he is. I'm just saying, we have to change our ways. We have to do something different for the sake of this project. Let this be different, okay? This is experiment. That's going to be my word for 2026. Hear me now. Experiment. Be willing to try something different, okay? You're not married. You're not saying I do. You're saying yes to a first date, okay? If you are one of those who is not, you're on the fence and your thoughts are all over the place, I'm speaking to you. This is just a first date, okay? We're not getting the dress and you're not getting married. We're just trying something new. We're just going to see. I'm preaching to myself right now. So, right, Robin? All of us, we're the book lovers, the journal lovers. The journals are so beautiful. They just look great. How many of us buy that journal because it looks great? The problem with the journal that looks great is you never want to write in it, because most of us don't love our handwriting. And then, and what's fun about a page full of writing, Now, if my mom wrote in it, like pages of my mom's writing, I would cherish that. Most of us would cherish our mom's writing, but I don't want to fill pages of it with my writing. Meh. But I want the journal. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I did buy a journal and I did return it the other day because I had to have a tough love conversation with myself. Like, you cannot keep this up. You cannot buy something and then just add it to a collection. Is that what you're collecting? Empty journals? Are you a collector of empty journals? Is that who you are? So So no, that is not who I am. And I do have a plan in place to become a journaler, because I have been journaling a little micro journaling, and it has been becoming more effective. It has been helping me. So Mandy, I have been simmering with the whole Harmony Handbook, and I have been simmering with that and thinking of like approaching that project again, and how can I do that in the time frame I have for winter? How would I do that? What would I do? So I'm thinking it through, and I'm trying to figure out like, what do I want the winter to look like? Because we need a project for the winter, and I'm trying to decide between, I have quite a few projects for winter, because winter is January, and it's like such a fantastic time of the year, because, you know, a lot of us love goals. A lot of us love the word for the year. I love making a vision board. I do. I'm just such a visual person. I love to see, you know, I just love to see pretty pictures. That's really what it is. So there you go. You do it, Mandy. That'd be great. And then you can put a lovely, like a whole little board in there with his little picture, and you can put all these lovely little words around him, quotes about him, all the little quotes that were inspired by him. Tiffany, I don't think a lot of us finished our Harmony Handbooks. There you go, Susan. Perfection. She says, oh my gosh, I just found an unopened package of 4x6 unlined, heavy duty is important, index cards. Girls, if you are going to do an index card project, I'm telling you now, please buy heavy duty. Make sure it says heavy duty on the package. There is a ton of index cards out there, and a lot of them are like paper thin. They're paper thin. So make sure it says heavy duty if you're going to craft. Otherwise, you're going to waste your money. Heavy duty index cards. I believe I found my Commonplace book. All I need to do is punch holes and make covers. Woohoo! There you go. Susan, continue on. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Doreen said she encountered life issues that year and missed the Harmony Handbook. Yeah, Harmony was such a lovely camp, and then it was weird timing, because that's when I had to go in the hospital. So I was a little distracted. I'm looking for my lips. I can feel my lips. Could you hold, please? I need to go get my lips on, and I'll be right back. Okay, you just hold the phone. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. Michelle Spencer, hello. She says, I've always wanted to try one of those 1 sentence a day journals, but I'm nervous that I wouldn't keep it up and I don't like to fail. Girl, same. I always think those type of journals, they sound so approachable. They sound so awesome. Like I could do that. 1 sentence, that's it. But it's such a commitment. And I know that it'll be another book I get where I do it for 30 days, maybe if I'm lucky, and then that would be it. Oh, so I was really behind on the comments. Okay. All right. So I asked Mark, so how am I doing? And he goes, you're doing great as long as your plan wasn't crafting. All right, let me repeat that to you one more time. I asked Mark, how am I doing? And he said, great, as long as your plan wasn't crafting. Oh, that's too funny. Michelle, exactly. Rude and hurtful, Mr. Speaker. Exactly. I had things to say. All right. Well, one thing I did actually want to do, and I don't know if you could say this is like exactly commonplacing, but it has to do with like the kit stuff, you know, and getting things set up. But I would like to cut up my kit. How about that? Have you guys cut up your kits? Because that would be helpful, is getting my kit stuff cut up. I am a big believer in getting yourself, you know, prepped for the event. You know, I love that. Did I get something messed up on my... Okay, so I am a big believer in the whole cut everything up, get it all set up, get everything, you know, that you like your papers, get your papers, all that, you know, like that's how I tend to think. Now, that's my kind of my overthinker, organizer kind of thought process. And I don't know that like this whole Commonplace project is necessarily going to work like that, depending on the format you choose. Something like a loose binder system like this. Now, I can see the way I am talking about it, where I'm saying, hey, just throw in loose papers and just, you know, like literally write a quote on this or this or this. Like just literally I'm saying this, like messy, loose paper, and just make your commonplace that. Just grab ephemera out of your scrap bin. Just make it messy. You don't have to overthink it or try and make it all gorge. Just, in fact, it's the carefreeness that might make you like do the opposite of what you tend to do. So back to what I was saying. Okay, let me put a pin in where I was going. Hopefully I can get back there again. The whole thing with experiment. So that's going to be my word for the year. I shared this in the newsletter, this little anecdote. I definitely know that I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at like trying new things. I get like, once I get in a little like thing I like, I'll stick with that for forever. So I want to try to do things differently. And I think sometimes how we have to do things differently is really to do stuff that's like the opposite of how we tend to do stuff, which is very, very uncomfortable and very much like, I don't want to do it that way. You know, so like, let me give you an example. So, this is a very small example, but here's something that I noticed with like, this is kind of funny. I got myself some stickers. These are totally not anything you've probably have ever seen me use before. These are just not, this isn't really my style that that I've used on anywhere. These are what I would say is my little 12-year-old self type of stickers would like. If I'd been 12 years old and I saw these in the store, I'd be like, Mom, give me these stickers. And then the classic stickers I think that teachers get for their, but I have been using, these just arrived today by Amazon. I've been using these little foil stickers. I've been using these like crazy because I tried something different. I just decided to be different. I saw someone use stickers like these in on some kind of like project, and I was like, oh, those are really cool. And this is nothing I would ever use. Nothing. But I have to tell you, these are the type of stickers that I don't care about. Like, I don't care. I wouldn't hoard these. I don't care about, I'm not invested in these. So then it's like, it's like, I don't care what I'm doing with them. I just put them like, boo, they go all over, whatever. It's really that carefreeness that like you had when you were younger. Now, unfortunately, I think a lot of us actually hoarded our stickers when we were younger too, because that's how I ended up having a sticker collection in my 20s that I gave my daughter. And she used them. I gave her my precious little sticker collection in this little yellow pencil box I'd had from like elementary school, and I gave them to her. And I don't remember what I told her, what I said to her. I honestly I don't know if I thought that through, but she literally used them. She was putting them all over her notebook. I know. I don't know. It was a traumatic moment for me. My own elementary school self didn't even do that, but here she was. So I got myself stickers that little inner kid in me would be happy to just put them on whatever. And I have to tell you, this has been a great experiment because I have been really enjoying using stickers that are just dumb, silly stickers that, that I didn't pay a lot of money for, certainly, but that are like, they're kind of fun. They are kind of fun. I've been kind of ingratiating them. That's not the right word. Incorporating them. Thank you. Incorporating them in my little projects. And it's kind of cool. I kind of like them. So, and I even got some of these too. I got these little nifty little black chunky letter stickers. So, so this has been my little sticker box experiment, is just getting some just simple, silly stickers that I don't necessarily care about. I also got this style of sticker, like these little washi stickers. Again, this style, although they're vintage, this is not really the vintage that I tend to like. But again, I was just trying stuff. So I grabbed some and I've just been throwing them on and mixing them up. They don't make sense. But then I realized, like, see what's happening over here? I was mixing stuff here. So I was mixing a butterfly. I put some trigonometry stuff. I think that's trigonometry. Geometry? That's geometry. I didn't do very good at geometry. I went to summer school for geometry. I put some of that. Is that trigonometry? That feels more complex than just geometry. Look at that. What is that? I think I was right the first time. I don't know. Help me out here. Smart girls who are smarter than me. Who did that in math? What is that? What kind of math is that? That looks like really, I don't know. My brain's telling me one thing. Also, that might not be the same. I think this is different. These are two different graphics that I brought together. Anyway, I thought that was a lot of fun, is bringing that kind of like mathy stuff together. So yeah, I was like having a lot of fun bringing little pieces together with this stuff. Anyway, anywho, not the point. The point is like, because I was goofing off and bringing stuff together that I don't normally play with, it was making me have more fun and try different things in my designs. So this whole experiment thing, I was like, this is making me be, I don't know, more, I don't know, trying stuff and kind of, who knows, it was a thought process of like, this could take me somewhere. The brand could look very different in a year or two. So anyway, just a thought. So if you are one who deals with perfectionism and you're fighting these things, this might be a good experiment for you, is to just try the opposite of what you're fighting against, is do stuff that's like the antithesis of what you would normally do. And then, and put a sticker on it. Put a sticker on it. Put a sticker on it. Like so. See? These are fun. Also, I have so many of these stickers now that I've bought. I'm going to have to start putting them in my orders. If you buy stuff from the sticker truck, do not be surprised if you get some glitter star stickers in your cart. Just saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway. Okay, now what I was saying over here, what was I saying? I took a risk knowing that I was going to probably have a really hard time getting back to that trail. And the risk did not pay off because now I can't remember. Look, just throwing on some random stars. But guess what? Doing that makes them cohesive. Makes them cohesive. Okay. I am going to start a little I think it's geometry. Okay, let me go back to what I was doing, which was I was pulling this stuff out because I was going to cut it up. So. Because the journal cards and the ephemera are fairly easy to cut. They're just little rectangles, Geometry was hard. It was not an easy class. Now, you might be someone who was really good at math, but I was not. I went to summer school 3 years in a row. And here's the weird thing. I never failed a class. I actually went to summer school because I got either a really, really low C or a D. But I always did really well in summer school. Tell me how I got an A in summer school or a B in summer school. Did I just have like completely different teachers that are like, oh, I'm going to be soft on these kids? I'd like to know. So this is what I am thinking. Let's talk. What's one gadget or toy that you begged for as a kid, but you never got? Let me know in the chat. What's one toy or gadget that you begged for as a kid, but you never got? Amy, the Snoopy snow cone maker. I have a question, Amy. Do you really think that snow cone maker really made snow cones? Because I think that commercial was fake as heck. There is no way that thing was shaving ice down.
Ask her. She has one now.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What does she say? Okay, does it shave it down like it showed in the commercials when we were kids? Because I did not believe it. I mean, I believed it then, but I grew up to not believe it. At the time, I believed it. I wanted one, but I don't know that I asked for it. Okay. Oh, maybe it's calculus. Maybe. I don't know. Does calculus have shapes like that too? Is geometry the only one that has the weird shapes? What's trigonometry? Why did that come to my head? Okay. So Mark says a remote control car. Denise says easy bake oven. So did Melanie. Janice says a Barbie house. Justine says Lite-Brite. Robin said Cabbage Patch Kid. Ellen was a Barbie swimming pool. Lorelei was a Rainbow Bright doll. Jan says I went to summer school every summer when I was in college. It was fabulous. Smaller class, accelerated pace, no time to get bored. You know, I agree with you. I did summer school during college too, like summer sessions, and I agree they were better than regular sessions because they were fast. Ray says the Snoopy one did work. I had one. Okay, Ray, I have a question. I would be curious if you had one from because I know that you are younger. So I wonder if yours was better made than the janky one that we may have had. But maybe, I don't know. Amy did not weigh in, but I'm glad it worked for you though, my sweet friend. I'm glad that you did not have the Snoopy snow cone trauma, because that's good to know that you were cute little Ray with your your little snow cones and you were happy, because that was a thing for a lot of us, that you watch those toy commercials and then you finally got that toy and it just did not live up to what you thought. There had an
answer for your math.
Oh, what was it?
It's not calculus, it's algebra, specifically exponent and radical rule.
That's the top one. What's the bottom one? With the cone, the upside down cone. So the top one I thought was out the top.
Geometry, right?
That's what I thought, but
yeah.
Okay.
It's a geometric figure.
Good night, Laura. Doreen says I remember because I memorized a formula to amortize interest rates. Use that all the time when I pay down rates. Oh, Doreen, I missed the first thing that you must have said. So I'm only seeing the second thing. Mandy says, my husband always wanted an easy bake oven until he realized only girls wanted it. Which is funny because you think about how many men are chefs and bakers. Like they make up, aren't they kind of the majority? But it's really funny how so much stuff is sort of marketed to girls. That's kind of an interesting dynamic there. And if only they had made an oven that had like flames on it or something, like they would have captured a totally different market for that. Michelle says that she had the Snoopy snow cone machine and I remember it working pretty well. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm just sus. Maybe I'm just sus. Flora says a mini Corvette or Jeep that I can wheel around in. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ray, it was shaped like the doghouse. Now, what I did have that was shaped like a doghouse was I had an electric toothbrush, a Snoopy electric toothbrush, and the Snoopy, he was attached to he was corded, so it wasn't it wasn't cordless, but he was attached and he laid up on the top of the thing and the little doghouse, and he was the base of the electric toothbrush. You had to put a different head into him to brush your teeth with. I don't remember sharing that with my brother, so I don't know if it I assume that it was for both of us. I just don't remember us sharing it. That was what I remember having. I had that little electric toothbrush, Snoopy toothbrush. Lorelai says Polly Pockets broke my heart. I got my daughter Polly Pockets when she was a little girl. I got to live vicariously through my daughter all over again. I remember like when the Tamagotchi came out, I got myself one. I got my own Barbie doll when I got her a Barbie doll. So I got to like get toys again when she was little. Because I wanted my own. Paula says, I always wanted a Ken and Barbie bride and groom. Aw. So Mandy says, Google says the cone is geometry. Okay. So I guess I didn't remember that part, is that they are actually two different graphics that I put together. And I guess my brain at first was like, oh, it's all one thing, but it isn't. I tricked myself. I tricked me. It's actually two different things. So, Mark, quite the experience when he shorts out in your mouth. He never did. My little Snoopy toothbrush never caused me any grief. All right, so the one tricky thing in cutting out this ephemera is it has a drop shadow on it. So I'm trying to decide if keeping the drop shadow on it looks weird or does it look good. I'll have to see. I kept it, but once I lay it down on there, I love that picture. I love the bright blue. It's such a cool pop of color. If you could bring back one store from your childhood, what would it be? What would it be? One store from your childhood. Andy says, oh my goodness, Snoopy Snow Cone Maker was awful. Thank you, Andy. That's what I suspected. Dorian says, my sister and I asked for easy bake ovens. Mom rolled her eyes and told us we've got a big oven right here in the kitchen. It can bake anything we wanted to eat. Oh my gosh, that is such a mom thing to say. Hi, Misty. Good to see you. Oh, that's funny. Denise says, I just wanted a cupcake whenever I was hungry. You know, those little easy bake ovens, I can still imagine the cake mix, like the way it tasted. I had one. I don't remember playing with it a lot, so I don't know that it like really captured my heart that much, but I know I had one. But I also can remember like what the cake mix was like. It had a very odd taste. But boy, did they push the Easy Bake Oven on TV. Do you remember how much like toy commercials there were on television? They were on all the time. All of our programming. They were always pushing toys on us. Terry says there was the Susie Homemaker oven also. I missed that. Bye, Ellen. Amy says, I think all our electric stuff like Snoopy toothbrushes were all pre-UL approved. It's really funny when you think about how many rules and regulations exist now because of like how many injuries there must have been. So Justine is saying Payless. See, that's something I was not even aware when Payless exited. So, when did Payless leave us? Misty said Western Auto. Julie says KB Toys. Oh, I remember them. Amy says Sears. Is Sears officially gone? They had an awesome candy section when I was a kid. I don't remember that. Other Diane. I still would like to meet the first Diane. Levine's, the coolest toy store in Colorado Springs. Lee says Mott's 5 and Dime. Lorelei says K-Mart. Shelly says Hello Kitty store. Do they have any in this country? I've only seen them overseas. Shelly, when you say Hello Kitty store, do you mean like, do you mean like a Sanrio store? Because they used to have Sanrio stores in malls. I know here on the West Coast they did, because I've taken my daughter to them when she was a kid. I can't imagine a world in which like a Sanrio store would not exist, but then malls are starting to not exist either. They're starting to go down. But they they did have them at some point. Zellers, a Canadian discount store. I'm trying to remember the store I've been to, Janice. It had a bunch of barrels in it. It was like a food type store, but it had tons of barrels when you first walked into it. And it was like a discount store. I'm just trying to, I'm hoping the name will pop into my head. Robin says, oh yes, I love Arthur Treacher's fish and chips. I think my father-in-law and Mark were just talking about them the other day.
Yeah, I put it in the chat room. That's what I wish would come back.
Oh, that's why you were saying that. Mandy says Bullwinkles. Darlis agrees. Arthur Teachers was my dad's favorite. Yeah, the Easy Bake Oven that was baking cakes with the light bulb is hilarious. Agreed. Blockbuster Video, Chris says. Chris, do you still have your Blockbuster Video card? Did you tell us that one time that you did? Or am I hallucinating that? Did you show us that in camp? Why am I thinking that? Why did you? That seems familiar. I feel like okay, maybe I'm having some weird flashback there. The Medical Center Pharmacy with their 25-cent ice cream cones. Aw, Denise, how cute. She says, my hubby just brought home mini cupcakes from the grocery run. You just got there saying that you loved a cupcake. And look, he brings it home. Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. She says, I miss Kmart. Georgia says TG&Y. I know that name. Yeah, I remember that name from my childhood. TG&Y. Yeah. Woolworth. Joanne. Woolworth. That was the place where we bought candy to go to the movie theater. It was right next door to the theater. I'm going to say, what would I pick? Ooh, sometimes that's hard to just pick one, isn't it? Chris says, I rented so much, all I had to do was call and say hi. I still have the Blockbuster Gold card in my job application. That's awesome. Now you memory keep that gold card. Toys R Us. Yeah, Kathleen, that one entered my head too. Ray says, yes, the Sanrio store was the best. We lost ours a long time ago. Walden Books was one of my favorites, Mrs. Spencer says. And I remember that going to Walden Books when I was like, when you're a kid. Winco is still here, Justine. Did you lose your Winco in Northern Cali? Borders Bookstore, Woolworth. Tower Records, Bethany. Yes. Oh, Tower Records. Mervyn's. Right, Diane? She says, oh, wow, I haven't thought of TG&Y in forever. Me either. And I'm sitting here thinking that I think TG&Y. Okay, before I say anything, did TG&Y, did they have fabric there? Was that a store that sold fabric and notions? Okay, I shall continue to cut. They did not sell that. Is TCBY still around? I have not seen that in years. So Georgia says yes. Joanne says no. Okay, so I believe, and I'm even thinking I can even picture the price tag that says TG&Y. I believe that is where my mom, that is the store that I was asking my mom about it. At the wedding weekend I just had, I was asking her what was the name of the store that we used to go to look at your the fabric, the pattern books. This is where I saw the honeys. And now that you just said that, I am thinking that store, which was like it had like a bunch of different things. Okay. I believe it was TG&Y, but I could be hallucinating this entire thing. Let me see. Dime store. It was a dime store. Yes, there's a picture of it. Yes, there's a picture with the whole TG&Y, and it's like really big across the thing. Yeah. TG&Y was like our Walmart and dollar store of the day. It was referred to as a 5 and dime among many others. This photo is from 1973. That's what it looked like in 1973. Wherever this location is, I don't know. I believe that there was one where we lived, because I have seen that price tag on some of my mom's stuff. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. So here's your keep it cozy reminder. This isn't a race. Put this somewhere. Yes, Diane, I think so too. Okay, Joanne, you brought back a memory. That's the store. That's the store where the honeys were from. Where I lived, that was TG&Y, and that they carried fabric. They did. They had fabric and notions. And my mom we went there a lot. I don't remember what else was there, but my solid memory was they had a section where they had fabric and patterns. And that is the store where my mom took me. That is where the honeys were introduced into my little memory banks. And that is why we have them today, girls, because of that store. You have closed the loop. I don't think my mom was going to remember that. And I just asked her about this October 4th. So like 2 weeks ago, I asked her when we were at the wedding if she could remember. I could tell you other stores that were in that little shopping center, and I can remember going there and everything. I just could not remember the name of the store because I was a little kid. But I have an odd memory. Like I can remember a lot of things. My mom is always really surprised what I can remember. I remember a lot of things that she's kind of taken back that I remember. Sometimes I think parents really want their kids to not remember things. They don't want that on the agenda. Okay. What I'm saying, Mandy, is the store that the TG&Y, that store had the pattern books. That's where I used to sit with my mom while she was shopping and looking at stuff. That's where I learned to sat there and looked at the honeys. That's what I'm saying. That was the store. The store itself wasn't the inspiration. It was, I just happened to be trying to remember where my mom used to take me. It's the only memory I have of sitting and looking at fabric books. but I couldn't remember what it was called. And now I do. It has been solved. That is really cool. I love having a memory come back. Shoot. Return to me. Okay, so what do you guys think about this Commonplace project? Are you down? Are you down to join me? Book, as I forgot that I had called it. This is my stump book. So you could do it this way, where you're just kind of building a book that's kind of fun to work in until you have a solid idea or plan. Because I just didn't really do anything with this particular one. I was just having fun, trying stuff, you know. So this is like the foundation level of doing a crafty commonplace book. Because if you were to look at how most people commonplace, like the majority of people, they're not doing all this fancy stuff. This is kind of like they're not doing all the scraps and stickers and washi and all that stuff. So that's why when I first talked about it, I called it crafty commonplacing, because I knew I was going to be asked nothing else. If the commonplacing isn't like, you know, floating your little boat, at least this could be something fun to do while you look at Shirley Jones. Isn't she adorable? At least you could do this with us on a Friday night. So I'm sure you could find a dotted notebook or some notebook you have in your unused notebook pile, your journal pile, that you could start treating like an experiment book. So if the commonplacing is not your jam, this could be a fun thing to do in your jammies, right? And show up for the late night crafty club, and your pile of ephemera, your pile of scraps that you could just start cutting down. And I mean, this is so fun. You can just turn page after page after page of doing stuff. I might even look, that's for the yearbook pictures. I started messing around with those at this point in time. I was trying a lot of different things, and then that's where the journey ended for me. I mean, I might just start doing stuff in here for fun. So if I take a break from the, you know, doing that, I might start doing stuff in here just to keep the good times rolling. So it's a lot of fun to do. Georgia says, I'm thinking of using the antique ledger you inspired me to buy for my Commonplace book. That is an excellent idea. Do you guys remember this ledger? This was something I did on Late Night Crafty Club on May 16th. I dated it. So this could be, this is a type of binder. So you don't have to use a traditional 3-punch binder. You could find different formats. You could do a kind of junk journal-y style where you just put scrappy stuff in here. This kind of horizontal format lends itself to doing, I was even able to do like a what is this called? The 4-inch pocket. Oh, and by the way, speaking of, let me grab something really fast. So, scrapbook.com just released, well, they didn't just release, it was released probably about a month ago. But Paige Evans, she did a little 4x4 album for her Halloween collection. And scrapbook.com happened to have like the whole set. I don't know if ever, like how many other platforms offered it. So I just noticed that they did. So I snatched up the little refill sheets. I got 2 packs of them because these are really hard to find. These are hard to find, the little 4x4 pockets. And she decided to do that with her album. And I almost got the album. It was really cute. The pattern that she chose was really like it had like candy colors, that it had floral in it. But I don't know. I just felt like I'd rather have like loose rings or something. The albums can be kind of like you're very constricted space-wise, so I just decided to stick with just these. So I went ahead and got 2 packs of these because if you run across the little pocket, the little 4x4 pockets, and you really like pocket crafting, these are great to have in your arsenal. And they're, like I said, they're hard to find. They're not getting manufactured the way they were. I thought I had a really good resource for them from this kind of like outlier company that's not part of the scrapbook world. And then they're not making them anymore. So I managed to get some right before camp started that were like, there were like a one-off, like Etsy seller had some, but these were like brand new. And I just was like, I'm going to grab some. So that is a word to the wise. If you see things like this pop up, grab them while you can if you like to pocket craft. And Amy, if you're still there, good night. Doreen, I agree with you. She says, I love the books with tabs and all kinds of paraphernalia sticking out. I agree. Me too. I love it. Cherry on Top is also offering these, and they have a pop-up that says they'll give you 20% off your first order. So these are $10 for a pack of 24, which these are just great to have in your arsenal. So if you ever decide to do the, you know, like even if you do a small junior size binder, if you do something like this, any of the small junk journals, this is such a nice little size to throw in a little pocket, you know, a little pocket page. These are just nice to have in your crafty arsenal as like one of your essentials. And that's what I would call it for me, as an essential. So good night, Susan. Okay, so Miss Mandy asking about the ledger. This was the ledger I got off of eBay, and it has this really delicious ledgery, these ledgery papers. I did a little bit of this crafting on here. There's, oh, do you guys remember? This was Miss Audrey. I did this on this was probably one of the last late night crafty clubs. I forgot that I was supposed to finish her. Poor Audrey. So this is the ledger that I got. I bought it on eBay, and it had little tabs in it. So this could be a fun commonplace type of format, especially because ledger lends itself to having nice straight little lines. You could do little entries. If you have a tab system, that could keep it nice and, you know, organized. This is an interesting layout, being more horizontal. Dang it. Do you guys remember I did this? Because I remember doing the whole thing with my finger, like doing the ink. And then that came from the Tim Holtz sticker pack. I think this was done on the last late night crafty club I did, and I completely forgot about her. The only reason why I pulled it down is because somebody mentioned it. Oh my goodness. So poor Audrey. She was just left out in the cold. Well, I'll have to finish her up. Good night, Rebecca. So this one was vintage, but Miss Bethany says you can get them new on Amazon. So I made a little plastic cover out of that the chopping mat to kind of like make something protective for the cover one. And then this, I think this is the chipboard it came with. And then I made a template for the punching, because now I'm going to have to hand punch anything I put in here. So these are the punching holes. So whatever you decide to do, if you make a special binder of some kind, if you want to use something custom like that, you just will need to make yourself a little template so you know where to punch whatever you're going to add to it. You're going to know where to punch it. So that will be your only little caveat going forward, is, you know, having to customize your sheets. So, but this is a form of a binder that you could do. So you could look online, you could look on eBay for vintage binders. That's what I did. That's how I found this little beauty. So this is a junior size, and I don't know that they even used that word when I looked for it and found this one. But this is a vintage 1970s binder. It doesn't even have the manufacturing name on it. So anyway, so there's some more options. I now have talked about this project on this late night and the one before. And then in the girlfriend gathering. So that's a lot of data to have along with the guide that comes with the kit, so that you have some encouragement of how you can approach the project and not feel so hemmed in by your decisions. You can absolutely approach this so that you're, using free cards, like, that are free, that you can move them about, like index cards. You can use journal cards. A lot of us have tons of journal cards in our collection. You can cut paper down to journal card sized and put them on a ring. So, depending on how invested you feel in this project, you could just put cards on a ring and see how you feel about that and how much you actually add to it. The long-term goal for me for this is I'm essentially wanting to create like a crafting library. So I love doing, these pages in my, so here would be an example. So I get here and, I find myself making something cool or funky, and then there's like an opportunity to put Shelly, I think that's you, Shelly. Good night. I hope it's you. Your name is different tonight, but I think that's you. So I have this like little foundational piece, but it would be great to add a quote to it. Oftentimes I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything worth putting on here. So what I'm saying is that would be great to like go to my little file and find some cool quote that I could like punch out on my little, using my little Dymo label maker or write out or something. Same thing here. Look, I have a little spot all waiting for me to be able to add a cool quote. What if I had a little library of these fun quotes at my fingertips? But I never do. And that is honestly, again, where I see the coolest quotes is how people photograph and put it up on their blogs, Instagram, and then I see them all over Pinterest. So one of the things that I recommend is that you start pinning pictures that you see. When I'm saying that, I don't mean like you see quotes on Pinterest and you save them. Do that, yes. But I'm saying if you see pictures of art journal pages, memory keeping pages, and you see somebody's quote on there that you love, like, oh, they used a really cool quote, save it, pin it, save that to your Commonplace board. Keep all the quotes that inspired you that you're like, I want to put this in my Commonplace book. Create a board that is just for this project. That's like, I'm putting this here because I want it to go in my library. I want to use this in my book, so that it's not just, oh, that's a nice quote. Oh, that made me feel something today. No, this is something I actually want to keep. I want to put it in my little file. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is to start with is to create a Commonplace Pinterest board so that you are prepared for, because I love looking at people's, art journaling pages, collages, their scrapbook pages, and people often use awesome, cool, fun quotes. And then of course, quotes float around, the internet too, and those are fun, but there's just something really super inspiring about how somebody includes a quote in their page, how they put it on the page too. That can be a really great jumping off place for you when you go to make your Commonplace page yourself. So it's like a double inspirational moment. So that would be a really great jumpstart for you. Not only do you have a quote, but you have a cool project that someone used it in to kind of give you ideas. So you don't need a card catalog box, but I certainly can see that you want one. And I encourage you, if that feels exciting, that sounds, exciting to you, then I definitely think you should pursue that, Doreen, because I have always loved the thought, just like you were saying how you love the thought of having like this fluffy book with things hanging out. For many moons, I was very excited by the thought of having like this cool box full of like fluffy cards. And in fact, one of the boxes that I got off of Etsy is I found somebody who was selling these steel boxes that came like a steel drawer that came from like a tool, probably like a toolbox, and they were just selling the drawer individually because I thought I love industrial, like really chippy industrial pieces. I just think they're so cool. So this is what I wanted to display all my cards when I had a big enough collection. So something like this, where you're just keeping like just a plain catalog of just your library of quotes, or you make this be the fluffy cards. If you want to do it that way, that could work for you. You could use a Rolodex, those kind that have literally the roll style that people put their address and stuff in. That can be kind of fun. It's more compact and it's alphabetized. So if you were wanting to organize your quotes by theme, you can use the alphabetical tabs that are on there. And you know what I'm talking about? It has like that little stand, and then it has the rolling mechanism that makes them spin around. That style of Rolodex could be really cool if you just want to make the quote library. So depending on how much effort you want to put into this project, there's different ways to approach this. You can skip the crafty part and just make a cool quote library for your crafting, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just going to make it a little more crafty. But you can also just make a practical tool that you can use for crafting. Okay. And the Rolodex would be great for that because, first of all, it takes up less space and it's got the cool rolling mechanism. That's cool. And the cards will spin around it. And you can organize it by the alphabetical. You can organize it alphabetically. This is going to be so fun as I get older. Me and Mark are always comparing notes about what we are struggling to do. Like, I struggle to spell words these days. And now I'm like struggling to like get sentences out does that sound coherent? I don't think that word was said right. Anyway. These cards. So these cards right here are 3x5s. These are 3x5s. And I prefer the 3x5s. I find the 4x6s to be a little too big. But if you obviously were talking about big quotes, then that you would probably need something bigger. But a lot of these were more visual and less quotey. These were like, I was having more fun with the the visuals. But here would be an example of, let's say this was something for my quote library. Your direction is more important than your speed. That's a cool quote. Now, isn't that more fun to look at than just, written in a book? Sure. And it was more fun to make and all of that. So this style of commonplacing can be very freeing for you if you like the idea of being able to catalog or organize. And sometimes I think the whole idea of commonplacing in a book, that idea of feeling trapped and like, what if I want to move this and I can't do this? I think that whole feeling ends up making a lot of people feel like they can't start the project because they'll get going down a road and they won't be able to fix it. They won't be able to move things. I know that is one of my biggest problems with a bullet journal type book. I have the hardest time making that work in my mind. Because I feel like, well, how can I know how much room I'm going to need? How do I know where to put the divider? Because what if I'll need more space? So I know what that feels like to run into those roadblocks. So this type of format takes all of those roadblocks away. You can move this however you want at any time. You can change the organizational style at any time or have no organizational style. The cards can move around and be shuffled or just be looked at. It's just about freedom of movement. So there's that. So that might appeal to you. You can also do a 4x6. That is what Susan Lloyd decided to do earlier. And you can put them on rings. So you can treat them a little bit like a loose leaf book, you know, like on rings, it's a little bit like a loose journal. And that could be fun too. So this can be a very fun, freeing project. And it can also be a really cool, practical tool. So Terry says, I will have to continue index cards, pocket pages, along with my Commonplace books, junk journals, and idea junk journal. All the things, Terry. I can't wait. I hope that I will begin to see your projects again. You were very crafty last year, so I look forward to seeing your pages again. Yes, Jan says, forget trying to spell properly. Spell check screws it up all the time. You know, I'm beginning to wonder if relying on spell check has now kind of bitten some of us, because I find my spelling skills they feel like they've declined. It's kind of like GPS, when you've depended on GPS too much and then you have a hard time navigating yourself. Okay, so does that sound, are we good? Are we all on the same page? Are we literally on the same page? I love that. So literal. Yeah. So there's different ways of taking on this little project if you wish to. And I think it will be a lot of fun to have, for me, the way I envision it, it will be a lot of fun to have this resource at last that is just full of delicious quotes that can be used in projects. Especially if you're someone who likes to make gifts for other people or cards or things. Even if I don't mind reusing quotes and having the same quote. Sometimes some quotes are worth reusing because they're so great. Like I have a quote right here written on a sticky note. I just noticed it. Sometimes you eat the frog first. Sometimes it's okay to eat the ice cream first. I don't know who said that. I don't know who said it, but apparently it impressed me so much that I wrote it on a sticky note and attached it to my monitor. Other Diane said, it's like cash registers telling people how much change to give. They don't know how to make change anymore. Oh, that's so true. Oh my goodness, if I had to do that now. But you know what? A lot of us Gen Xers and older were taught how to do that. We were taught how to count back, with the change. I think that it would just be second nature to do it, because if you had that kind of job in high school or and older, that's how they taught you. That's how they train you. But yeah, that's a good point. Why would they do that now? Why would they need to? And we don't know phone numbers since they're all stored for us. That's absolutely right. That's the worst one, because if you're ever in a situation where you can't access your phone and you have to call someone, you're hosed. You're hosed, because no one knows anyone's phone number. I think I know my mom's, and I think I know Mark's. I know Mark's because Mark has a pattern to his phone number, fortunately, that he taught me. So now that's how I remember it. That's pretty sad. 2 people. Okay. So, all right. So we're all in agreement. We're off to the races with our project. Okay. So this was our public kickoff night with the Crafty Commonplace project. And I would love for you to join me. I would love for you to grab a Crafty Girl PlayKit bundle if you are not in the membership. if you are not in the membership, I do have the bundle available in our shop. I also have these fun little, I got him. I also have these fun little pocket gallery kits too, which I'm going to start making more of those as I am inspired, because I was so, what's the right word? I was seeing so many people have these little gallery walls, and I was just thinking to myself, it would be so fun to have like a little mini gallery, because I have really small walls here in the RV. But, you know, now that I'm going to be moving into the cottage very, very shortly, I will now have more space. But I thought it would be so fun to have like a little mini gallery and be able to change them out and have like really fun little pictures and stuff. So that was kind of my initial inspiration. And so last year in the membership, I was releasing artwork in what I called a lucky dip. So every time the new month rolled around, I would give people a little piece of art that I had designed. So this time around, I decided I'm going to start making these little kits. So that is the first kit that I have just rolled out. And the sticker truck is open. Also, Mark wants me to remind you, the sticker truck is open. So it will be open. I think Mark said he was going to leave it open for a few days. I wish he had reminded me that before I sent out the newsletter. The other thing is, Shelly, if you want to rejoin the Clubhouse, I'm just trying to think of where to send you to. You can go to TRG.Cafe, and there the link for the Clubhouse is on that, TRG.Cafe. And there will be a sign up thing on there, and you would just re-sign up. So when you sign up on as a member at the all access level, you'll receive the core kit as part of your membership. And if you want the journal cards, those are separate, but there is a discount code right now that is good through, I think it's good through Saturday or Sunday. You will need to check in the cottage. That is a space inside the Clubhouse. That is where the download is located. It will tell you when it's good for. So you will not have to pay full price for it. And then you'll have all the things, and then we'll be doing all the crafting. And hopefully I will be sending out another newsletter shortly. That is a fun newsletter. Excellent. Denise says she downloaded the journal cards tonight. Thank you. And thank you very much to everyone who supports my little shop. I really, really appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Yes, that sticker truck has been absent for a long time. I don't think it was open. I don't know. I don't even know when the last time it's been open. If it was open this year, it was... It's been more than 3 months, Mark said. I don't remember the last time it was open. It wasn't open during camp. It must have been before the summer started. So, and I know we have little goodies. That will be the fun thing about we have so Doreen, I saw your comment. There's a little cottage on the property. We're on Mark's parents' property, and we are parked kind of butting up to like this little cottage right here that I'm going to be moving into to have as my little studio. So I will still do the late night crafty club here, but I will be working in there and being in my out of this RV yay. And getting to work in there and just have another little space and just and have my own craft room again. And I'm just hoping it's going to make all the difference. You know, it's going to be a really great thing. So I think that's when it was too, Shelley, that it was first quarter is when we had the sticker truck open last. I think it really was that long ago. So, but thank you everyone for placing an order at the sticker truck. Yeah. So Julie, it's not, me and Mark aren't moving into a cottage. It's just me it's a place to work during the day. But it has like a little, it has a single bed in there right now. And that's in case my mom comes to visit me, or I have a guest come stay here. It's like a kind of like a single room kind of little cottage. That's what it is. It's not like a house. It's not that. We will still be living in this RV. I don't know when that's going to end, but that's where we are. So it's just, it is incredibly awesome that I get this opportunity. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So, yes, I can't wait to get it set up and then do a little tour, because we filmed a tour of that craft room that I had, and then I never published it, because at the time that I did it, I had never been on camera before. I had only been my hands. So I was very self-conscious, and I did not like it. I didn't like how it turned out or anything. So I never let Mark put it up. So the only craft room tour I ever did has never been published. And then the whole time I've been in here, I have filmed different little pieces of like a craft room tour. And I know on different lives and stuff that I've been on, I've been shown on camera some things, but I've never done like a properly nicely filmed, edited tour. In fact, the whole time we've lived in the RV, we've never once published a single RV video.
We did the Christmas one. We toured it at Christmas.
But that was like a live. It wasn't. Oh,
gotcha.
It wasn't like a.
Do you want me to cook some pasta for you for when you're done?
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, so it is like 7:49. So I think I'm gonna start wrapping things up. So the next time that we gather together, it will be Halloween. It'll be the 31st. And we'll all be working on my fun little project. My fun little project. So anyway, and hopefully you will too. So I don't know who's going to be in or out. Terry, the discount code is inside the cottage where the download is. So where it says your PlayKit is here, that's where the discount code is for the journal cards. If you are accessing the thing. So anyway, so let me know who's doing Commonplace with me, and show up on the 31st with your little project. Remember, I gave you another option. If you don't want to do Commonplacing, you can do a fun little scrap journal with me that you can just do for fun. You can just do for practicing, your collaging, or just practice like with your fun stash is just putting stuff in it and just messing around. That's just a fun way to do stuff, in it. Just saying, there's that. Something like this, you could just mess around. So I don't want you to be feeling like you can be off the hook. Just kidding. There's no hook. There's no hook here. All right, I'm going to go get that vacuum cleaner and be a gnat destroyer of gnats. So this is the weekend. I shall be switching over and being more fallish, because I feel like I've only been partially fall. And I had this cute little truck. It has little pumpkins in the back of it, but the pumpkins have been slowly disappearing. They're those little the little mallow creams, but they're slowly going away. These are like little sugar bombs. These are you can don't remember this as a kid, but you can really only eat one of these because they are so sweet. Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, Doreen. They're a little fall creature. That's for sure. The thing is though, is I don't remember gnats of this level, like not where my mom lives. You know, where she lives, what happens in October are flies, to be fair, which I think are probably worse, but they get a lot of flies in the part of the state she lives in because of all the farming. So maybe that's worse. These are harder to get. I don't know. I'll have to think on that, which is worse. But they're everywhere right now. I'm like the heebie-jeebies. I've been holding it together, but I'm about to have a meltdown. Oh, there you go. Diane says she's been eating these too. All right. So we'll show up on the 31st. Bring your favorite candy. Okay. Let's all bring our favorite candy. Let's do it. And we'll talk about what costumes we loved as a kid. We'll talk about what our favorite candy was as a child. So we'll reminisce about our childhood, our childhood shenanigans, and we'll work on our projects together. So the 31st, be here or be square. Costume optional, but I love your little face. I appreciate you showing up tonight, being here. I appreciate you being in the membership. Appreciate you being on my subscriber list if you were. Check your inbox if you joined me late and didn't hear the beginning of the show. I did send out a freebie for tonight. So if you're on our subscriber list, this was sent out in a big epic email. If you were not subscribed, you can still sign up and get the little bingo sheet. It'll still send out to you. It should send it out to you. And then what else? TRG.Cafe it's like our main page that has a bunch of links to sign up for things. So the main newsletter is called The Cozy Creative. And then there is the Clip and Snip, which is the Late Night Crafty Club's newsletter. And I would suggest getting on that because I will send you out a reminder the Thursday night before the live stream. Sorry. Is it Thursday night? No, you get it when do you get it? I have actually been being a little late on that. I think I've been scheduling it for you to get it Friday morning. I need to get it back on Thursday night. Thursday. Sometimes I feel like I don't know when it's the most effective, the day of or the day before. Probably the day before. I need to fix that. Anyway, I send it to you before I go live so that you are reminded, hey, I'm going live. So it's just a reminder email for the most part. Sometimes I do something else in it. You never know. I'm unpredictable. You can't pin me down. But anyway, I love your little faces, you guys. And I do hope that you have a wonderful, restful weekend. Restful. And I hope it's fun. I hope you have something fun to do. I hope you get out, enjoy some of fall. I'm going to go out and enjoy some of fall because I got all my homework done, Mom. I did all my homework. I'm going to go do some fun fall things now. I'm going to go do some, they're fun fall things like working in the cottage because I'm going to be moving in. So anyway, I love your face and I look forward to seeing you on the 31st. Bring your candy and your crafting and I will see you then. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Gather round, it's Friday night. Time for crafts and pure delight. Paper, scissors, let's get started. With vintage tape, we'll be wholehearted. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layering books ready, let's make a plan. Planners in the office, supplies in hand. Honey half-season wins the arrows, crafting magic like true heroes. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty glow, it's all for you. Doodads and gumballs, let's create a scene. Join the club where we live our dreams. So grab your scissors and come along. Together we'll craft and sing our song. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty glow, it's all for you. It's all for you. Slip into jammies, grab something to stick. Stickers and golden scissors, let's take a crafty trip. The playbook's open with listers, got a list. In this crafty paradise, our dreams coexist. Every honey deserves her day in the sun. With enamel dots, we're ready for fun. Layer in circles and punch stars too. In the late night crafty glow, it's all for you. It's all for you. Cards and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the late night crafty show? Hearts and pockets display our creativity. 32-pound paper, so smooth and buttery. Scraps your cards, help your ideas flow. What will you make during the late night crafty show? It's all for you.